Welcome back to the Center on Buffalo podcast. This week we are joined by Bills safety Cole Bishop. And I'm excited about this guy heading into this 2025 season. Second round draft pick last year out of Utah, was dinged up during training camp, missed a lot of time. But this is a guy who's position coach in college right after the Bills drafted him, said, look, this guy's going to be an absolute stud. So I'm excited with a full, healthy offseason, what he could do for the Bills on the field this year. So we're going to dig in on some of that. We're going to have some fun talking about his offseason, what he's been working on, how last season went, who his mentor is, in and around the facility. So we're going to have some fun on this one. We'll also get to some fun questions. Bear with me with my voice coming off of Kentucky Derby weekend. So got to have a couple former teammates, Craig Urbick, Garrison Sanborn, and their wives. They came in town for the Derby, ran into Spencer Brown, Ryan Vandemark, current Bills O lineman at the Derby. So great time. Too long of conversations, I'll say. So the voice is a little strained, but please bear with me. Thanks to everyone who's been tuning in to these episodes each and every week. Had Sean McDermott on last week, had a ton of fun with that. We had draft content the week before, Chris Trapasso. So if you didn't listen to those, go back and check those out. I think you'll enjoy them even after the draft. And then for all those out there, please subscribe, rate and review. And thank you to everyone who's been sharing this podcast. And please continue to share it. It's growing and growing. So thank you very much. Go Bills. Enjoy the podcast.
Hit us up on all social media at The Buffalo Pod.
Cole, welcome on the podcast, brother.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. How's the offseason going so far?
It's good. Obviously, much different than last year. Nice being able to be here kind of throughout the whole training process. I came back pretty early, so I've been here for a little bit, like over a month now. So it's been good being able to be in the weight room. Obviously, a lot more comfortable knowing the guys and everything. So I'm excited.
Where'd you go to train at this offseason?
Went down to Florida for a little bit. The same place I did my combine prep at Bomberitos. I was there for a few weeks and then ended up coming back to Buffalo pretty early.
Is he the dude that's known for the speed training?
Yeah. Yep. I did all my 40 prep and everything with him.
What was your 40 at the combine?
4.4.
Nice. I knew you had one of the best relative athletic scores out there when you look at those numbers. And then when I talked to your old position coach, Cord Tennyson, after you got drafted to the Bills, I was just asking him. Actually, I think he texted me before I ever even reached out to you, but he was like, hey, don't let the color of his skin fool you. This dude is a freak athlete. So it doesn't surprise me that you ran that 4.4 at the combine. All right. So heading into your first NFL offseason, a lot of times maybe things are revealed to you during the season. Okay, I'm going to try to work on this offseason. Was there anything that you attacked specifically this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously trying to get bigger, faster, stronger. So, I mean, that was the main thing. That was kind of the focus when I wasn't here, and then getting back here, being able to get more comfortable in the playbook. I mean, I feel like towards the end of the season, I felt great with it anyway. So being able to just build on that. Taylor Rapp was up here too, so we've been working out a ton, trying to get, footwork in, man coverage, all that. So really just trying to get technique stuff, trying to get as close to mastering it as possible, and then schematically just trying to keep going over my notes and everything, so that way try to be a little bit ahead.
How are the workouts going with the new strength coach, Will Greenberg? Love that dude. He came in prior to the 2017 season, so that'll be my last season with the Bills, but got to know him over the years. I love that dude. How are workouts going with him taking over?
He's good. Will was a part of a lot of the rookie development stuff, so we spent a lot of time together last year, and the workouts have been great. Like I said, I've been here for a good bit of time, so I've been working out with him for a while now, and everything went good. Kind of different stuff. We got a little new software. I don't know if you've been in the weight room yet, but they got some iPads up there, so you're able to see like how much force you're producing, how much speed, things like that. So you're able to kind of track your progress.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Will would go cutting edge with it. Just I knew he was going to shake some stuff up. Are you guys still doing the Iron Bills games with Will taking over?
Yeah, so they picked the teams last week, and then this was the first competition today. Team Khalil Shakir, my team won today, so we're 1-0 right now.
What was the event?
Sled pushes. So it was like however much your team weighs. So we got like 13. We had 13 guys today, so we were 990 something pounds. You have to push the sled that many yards. So our strategy was we went 25 and then we would rotate. So we ended up with a good strategy and ended up winning.
Nice. So for those listening that don't know about the Iron Bills games, Eric Ciano put these in 2010, I think, when he got to the Bills at first. And fun competition. Some of them really suck. Some of them are grueling. Some are more fun than it is grueling. But the winners of it get parking spaces and some other perks following the offseason program. What's the reward now if you win the Iron Bills
The
games?
only thing I know of is the parking spots. I'm not sure
Okay.
if they're doing anything different. I thought that was pretty cool though last year whenever I first got here because I think they finished up like our first week there. I think so they all got the parking spots and everything. So hopefully we can get a front parking spot this year.
Yeah, which is convenient when you're dinged up throughout the season and you get to park right by the door. Or if there's a foot of snow on the ground, then you don't get ass snowy walking in.
I would say, especially with the snow, it's definitely pretty convenient.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So looking back on last year, how tough was it to come in and have that shoulder injury during training camp?
Yeah, that definitely sucked. I mean, I feel like right when it happened, I was starting to really feel comfortable, starting to feel more confident in everything, making plays in practice, and then obviously that injury sucked, set me back. So I mean, just having to watch training camp wasn't fun in its own way, and then kind of falling behind and everything didn't really feel not necessarily health wise, but just back to normal playing for until a few weeks into the season. So obviously, hoping for health is like the number one thing in sports. So stay healthy and just be able to go into the season with a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, and a lot of times those injuries are completely out of control, like that one. And was proud of how you throughout the season continue to get better, even though you missed all that valuable training camp time. You continue to get better and then play a major role second half of the season into the playoffs. So well done there. I know it sucked, but well done approaching it in that way. We're going to take a quick break to tell you about our sponsor, Waterboy, friend of the show. Listeners get 20% off. Use code EWOOD70. We will make sure to get you some of these clean hydration packets, my favorite out there. They got a workout blend with some glutamine and stuff in it. We'll get some sent to the facility for you, allow you to check it out. All right, so the draft just took place. What advice do you have for the draftees maybe coming into Buffalo, heading into their rookie season?
Honestly, probably just be confident. I mean, when you get here, obviously you don't know anybody. Coaches are going to be on you extra hard, but like you're here for a reason. That was a big thing. A lot of the people talk to us about just like it's gonna feel at times like you can't do anything right. You know, you're new to like they want different things with your footwork because you're to a whole new place. You know, so just be confident. Like you're here for a reason, and just try to take the coaching as much as you can and try to keep developing.
No, I like that. That's good advice. Were you paying a bunch of attention to the draft on, it's 3 days, but throughout the draft, were you paying attention?
A little bit. I mean, I was watching, but I wasn't crazy invested into it or anything. I mean, I was curious to see who we are going to end up signing and everything, and it looks like we got a bunch of great guys. So I'm excited for these guys to get here.
Yeah, absolutely. And y'all got a bunch of help on the defense side of the football. So it's always interesting to see how those guys are going to fit in, where everyone gets slotted in. But seems like, this I'll say this. People always ask me what I think about the Bills draft, and I say, look, the further I get removed from college, the less I know about these college guys. I don't have enough time to digest the entire prospect list. So if Brandon Beane's excited about it, they spend countless hours on it, and I trust them, and they've done a good job. So, and I always say, give me 2 to 3 years before I fully judge a draft class. I mean, yes, everyone wants people to come in and play, but especially nowadays when guys are coming in at 20, 21 years old, it's just different. Like, I'm not going to judge a draft class, coming into training camp, even out of training camp, even after that first season. Give me 2 to 3 years, and then I'll make my judgment on it. I understand a lot of people make a lot of money to talk about these draft picks, and that's okay. I'm just not going to make the hard takes on it.
Yeah, I think it's hard because I mean, there's only so much that's in your control. Like guys get hurt, guys go in a position where they have more veteran guys there, so like it's so hard to judge people off their first year or even their first couple of years there. I mean, you see it's crazy in sports, like people have such different paths. Like in college, there's guys that don't play until their senior year and then they get drafted, and then there's guys that play their whole career and don't. And I mean, it's just cool seeing a lot of different things happen.
Let's take a moment to hear from one of our sponsors, and that's Dan-O's Seasoning. They got that new lime green bottle out. That's the chili lime. Make sure you go to a retail store near you or danoseasoning.com and pick you up some of that chili lime. It might be my favorite one yet. Yum, yum, get you some. Throughout last season and even this offseason, you mentioned Taylor Rapp, but who's been your biggest mentor on the Bills?
This past offseason, definitely Taylor, just because we spent so much time together working out and everything. But, Micah being here last year, him coming back was awesome. So trying to pick his brain as much as I can. Kareem Jackson. I don't want to forget anybody. Taryn. I mean, we had a lot of veterans in the room last year and this year. So, just trying to learn as much as I can from them.
I was hoping you were going to say my buddy Micah, and I was excited when he came back last year. I figured you could learn a lot from him. He's a great dude, still remains a friend to this day. Did the rookies or did the DBs last year do a rookie night? And if so, what'd you guys do for it?
We went, yes, kind of. It wasn't anything crazy. It was at the end of the season. So obviously it wasn't like a huge thing. Everybody was still, coming off our last game. But the DBs and the linebackers got together and we did a little thing with all the guys that were still in town at Giancarlo's, and it was fun.
So, how many guys had to split the bill?
So it would have been probably about five or six.
So it didn't hit you that hard.
No, it wasn't too bad. And they were nice. They didn't do anything too crazy to us. Mostly just eating and everything, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I always would tell people to take it easy on the rookies for rookie night. And I would say, here's the deal. If you go out to a nice dinner with your wife or your buddies and you pay for your own nice drinks, then you can get it. But if you don't normally do that, and I've eaten with all of you, and you try to make the rookie pay for it, you're just being a dick at that point. Like you're just trying to waste their money because you don't even normally get that. So I'm glad to see that's still in effect these days.
Sure. And I saw like weeks leading up to it, some of the stuff on social media, guys at different teams having to pay crazy amounts. So glad we have to do all that.
Yeah, and that speaks to the culture of the Bills that it's like, all right, we're all in this together. We're not here to, just waste all your money as a rookie just because you're a rookie or just because you're a second round draft pick. Like the
Exactly.
Bills have a good culture with good dudes in it. All right, so I'm assuming you watch film around the league, other safeties, watch their game, maybe try and pick pieces from them. You can't say someone on your own team, but when you're watching film, who do you think are maybe the top three safeties in the game right now?
In the game right now, that's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were going to say trying to get little tips from and everything. Man, best safeties in the game right now. It's honestly hard to give a response. I mean, this past year, I feel like I didn't watch as much of other teams as I would have liked to necessarily because I was so focused on what we had going on. You know how it is as a rookie. You're making sure you're good on your job,
Right.
and you understand what's going on instead of necessarily watching the other teams and being able to look at their guys. So I'm excited for this year to be able to kind of like expand your vision. Like you're able to start anticipating what the other team's going to do more, things like that. But I don't have a good answer for that right now.
All right, we'll give you a pass, and we'll reconvene on that like down the road. And as you watch more of it coming up, I'll give you a pass on that one. All right, the NFL schedule's coming out next week. Is there anything that you're going to be rooting for with that?
Like I said, still new to this, obviously, but they release who we're playing, and then just the order of it, I think, is what is about to come out. I'm excited to see the Atlanta game, obviously. From Atlanta, I wasn't a Falcons fan, but it'll be nice to be able to have a lot of people there and everything, let the family come out and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And so like from a broadcasting perspective now, it's like sometimes those Monday night games aren't very fun to call. Do the Bills go overseas and play? Like that can be a good amount of fun for me. I have young kids. I wouldn't necessarily love a Christmas game, but I've seen some rumors that maybe the Bills are getting a Christmas game. And so it's like, where's the Thursday night game fall? Because that ends up being kind of another little bye week. And then ultimately, and then where the actual bye week is, that's
I'm curious on the international thing because I don't know too much about it, but I saw that I don't even know if this is accurate, but a potential team online or something.
right.
So I'm curious to see if we end up having to go overseas.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So who was your NFL team growing up? You said it wasn't the Falcons.
It was New England, but it wasn't like I wasn't a huge into it. I was born in Boston. So my parents were into it and I kind of watched because of them, but I liked watching, but I didn't care too much.
It's okay. I wouldn't hold it against you. I grew up in Cincinnati. I grew up a Bengals fan. But I was just going to say last year, unless you grow up a Bills fan or been around the area, it's likely your first introduction to the Bills Mafia. What was your impression of the Bills Mafia last year?
It was awesome. I mean, this is kind of going away from what you just said, but they actually talked about today the new guys that came to the softball game yesterday. Like it was sold out.
Right.
for watching us play softball, and he was like, Bobby Babich was just talking about like the fans here are amazing. Like we had a ton of people at a softball game, you know. So just wait till the football aspect, and I mean that's exactly what it was last year. It was awesome getting to run out there. I think because I wasn't even dressed for preseason with the injury, so even just jogging out no pads was still awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good feeling. I miss it for sure. All right, I got a few rapid fire questions for you here, and then we'll get you out of here. Number one, was the play against the Chiefs in the second quarter an interception by you, a catch by Worthy, or an incompletion?
Tough to say. It needs to be an interception in the
Right?
future. Um, but you know the ref ruled it complete, so obviously not what I was hoping for, but that's what they ruled it. So just got to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I thought it was either an interception or if it's not an interception, then it's incompletion because I never felt like Worthy ever had control.
Mhm.
But that's in the past. All right. After you got drafted, did you make any big purchases?
Nothing like crazy. I like necessities. I got a car and a house when I got out here.
What kind
Um,
of car did you get?
a Raptor, F-150.
Nice.
So that was kind of my car I've always wanted. So I was excited to be able to do that. And then other than that, not really. I'm pretty frugal, I would say. Try to save as much as I can. So really just trying to get the necessities.
It's always better to be frugal and to save than be the opposite end of the spectrum, and then you get out of the league and you don't have any money left. So
For sure.
smart on your end. All right, what's your favorite wing spot in Buffalo?
Between barbell and wing nuts, I'd say wing nuts is probably number one for me. I want to try to get out to a couple more places. Joe Andreessen was telling me I got to get out to Gabriel's Gate. So that's one I want to try here shortly. But probably wing nuts is number one for me right now.
Yeah, Joe Andreessen came on the podcast, and I was like, dude, I'm so excited about this because so many people have said kind of the same ones. And I was like, Joe, I know you're going to give me something good. And he said two I had never even heard of. So
Yeah,
those,
he gave me a warning. He said I should say something special, but I hadn't tried them yet, so I didn't want to give a review without going.
that's funny. That's funny. Are you, have you adapted to the blue cheese movement yet?
Not really. I'm not huge into the sauces. I've kind
Okay.
of grown up just eating wings as they are. Feel like if a wing is pretty good, then it doesn't necessarily need the sauce. So
You're right.
I've been sticking plain for the most part.
All right, cool. All right, last one. Favorite spot to go eat in Buffalo besides a wing joint?
I see besides the wing joint, I think messes it up. We go to our dinners at Giancarlo's a lot with the DBs. Like
Yep.
we're going there in the next couple nights, I think. So I'd say probably there.
Good deal. Good deal. Did you play in Micah's softball game yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Nice. So I saw Dwayne Carter won the home run derby. Generally that's Josh Allen, but
Yep.
he couldn't make it. So Dwayne Carter won it. Who impressed you the most out there? Like you didn't think maybe they were a good enough athlete to be good at softball.
Before you said the ending thing, I wouldn't say that I didn't think he was a good enough athlete, but Mitch Trubisky put on a show. I mean,
Did he?
he had a couple home runs at least. He had a double play there to end it in the ninth. I was not a good softball player. So it was cool to see the other guys that were pretty good, but I had a rough outing.
Yeah, I played in it once and I didn't have a good outing either.
Yeah, I had a couple errors in the first couple innings, and I moved myself to designated hitter, stopped going in the field.
Nice. Nice. I love it. Well, have a great rest of the offseason, brother. Looking forward to seeing you out there on the field this year. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.